Welcome, spiritual hustlers, to 53 Days of Mindfulness with XO and Hustle, presented by Self Hired. I am so excited to have you here. We're about to spend the next 53 days together sharing and dropping knowledge on how to bring spirituality to your grind so you can balance your growth with your hustle. This series is based off the Mindfulness Deck, an actionable 55 card deck designed to take you on a journey of self-understanding, healing, and habit building. The Mindfulness Deck is now available for pre-order at xoandhustle.com. And remember, I love hearing your breakthroughs, so make sure you join the conversation online at XO and Hustle on Instagram. All right, let's get into it. Today's episode is brought to you by Delush CBD. Delush is a holistic lifestyle company that infuses hemp CBD into your favorite wellness and skincare products. Since we're all about love and good vibes, Delush CBD products are thoughtfully curated with non-toxic ingredients and are cruelty-free. Every product is handmade with all that love and good. You can use the discount code XO and Hustle for 15% off your next order at delush.ca. What up, my spiritual hustlers, and welcome back to another day of 53 days of mindfulness. Today's card is a big one, yo. You know, it's so funny. I tell you guys so many times, this is the most important card. I love this card. And I probably say this, and then this one's so much more important. It's just, this particular card is one of those cards that will truly transform your life. A lot of the mindfulness tools that I'm teaching you guys are great to have in your toolbox. But this one in particular is one that is going to heal you, heal the generations before you, and the ones after you. So today's card is all about embracing your inner child. Okay, so on this card, what you will see is you'll see a woman who's in this like off-white dress, and she's got this beautiful red hair and this like really like smug, like just like a hometown Alabama smile on her face, you know? And she's embracing like this young version of herself, just completely like holding her by her waist and just like holding her head up right into her, nuzzling it into her shoulder. And there's this huge white aura with specks of the universe just beaming off of them. And the entire background of the card is red. So a few years ago when I learned about like your inner child healing, I was probably more transformed than I ever have been. And it has been one of the most beneficial mindfulness tools I've ever been able to add to my toolbox. Going into your inner child is like literally healing your wounds from the fucking inside out. I was telling my mom, I was having this like pattern, right? And so I was telling my mom, I was just like, yeah, like this pattern like keeps coming up in my life and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, well, then how does it make you feel? And so I was like telling her, and she's just like, well, why? She kept pressing me. And eventually I got to this point where I was like, well, I just feel like this is how it was when I was a kid. And she's like, that's exactly where I wanted you to get. And so when she said that, she's like, when we're younger, when we don't get our way, or when we start to think that we did something bad, we always just assume it's because I'm bad, I'm not good enough. Because we're not at a place where we have even like the emotional diversity or the intellectual diversity to understand the complexity of our thoughts and our emotions and our experiences. And so because of that, we revert to just believing like I'm not good enough. And then we like patterns because we are some lazy motherfuckers, and we want to just continuously build on our patterns. And so because of our subconscious and how it runs like 80% of us, we end up operating at this like place where we're operating from this like inner child, and sometimes we act out. So what I started doing was I started healing that inner child. Back to the story with my mom, the image that I had of myself when I was like, oh, but this is how I was when I was younger, is I had this image of myself in this boiler room, right? And I was sitting in this boiler room with my knees in my chest, and I was just rocking back and forth. And it was like I was trying to calm myself down from my anxiety. And I remember this so vividly. Even as I'm sitting here, I remember it. And I just like, my mom's like, okay, I want you to imagine that girl. And she's like, go inside and give her a big hug, and just hug her and embrace her and love her, and keep telling her how worthy she is, because you know how worthy she is. She lived up until your life right now, right? And so you found so much worthiness outside of that one moment of feeling unworthy. And so I was like, whoa, that's like pretty fucking powerful shit, mama. And so I literally go into my mind and I just imagine myself hugging baby Susu. And oh my God, I felt like just like my entire body just vibrate outwards. And I felt chunks and chunks of healing just like come off of my body. And it was so cool because for the first time, I felt like I healed that problem from the core of the problem, from the root of the issue. And I truly found out like why I ended up creating this pattern in my life in the first place. And now I will have to say, whenever I like find a pattern in my life or I'm trying to break a toxic trait, I really go back to my inner child and I start to like coach her and love her and play with her, because that's who we truly are in our inside beings, right? And when we give ourselves time and space to connect with that part of ourselves, we're able to connect with our own innocence and our own desire to thrive and like be the best versions of ourselves that we want to be. So your guys' tip and mindfulness tool of the day is to think of whatever you're going through, whatever pops into your mind in this very moment. And I want you to embrace your inner child, whether it's you're feeling joy or whether you are feeling like heartbreak or sorrow, wherever it is, embrace that inner child. Allow your inner child to feel and remind your inner child that you are so loved, you are so worthy, and you are enough. So say that with me. That's going to be your Don't Mind Your Hustle affirmation for today, all right? You are worthy. Actually, let's say it this way, guys. I am worthy. I am enough, and I am powerful. Until next time, keep being the spiritual hustlers you already are. Continue strengthening your intuition offline by pre-ordering the Mindfulness Deck at exoandhustle.com. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe and share with all your friends so you can all bring spirituality to your hustle. Until next time, keep being the spiritual hustler you already are.